Alright guys, so let's go ahead and do an activity network diagram for these activities over here. Okay, so all the activities are listed over here, and we have the activity description over here, and here all these activities that you see over here. Okay, so for example, we are working on the activity B. So here we have activity A written over here, which means that the completion of B depends on the activity A. Okay, so all this column that you see over here, it's the dependency column over here. Okay, so here if you see an activity C, so that means it depends on the completion of the activity A, so it's gonna start after A, and these are the duration of the activities. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the activity network diagram, and I'm gonna do it in this form. So first I'm gonna write the earliest start, then I'm gonna write earliest finished, and then I'm gonna write the activity over here, the activity itself, and the duration of the activity, and the latest start and the latest finish. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. So first activity that we have is activity A. Okay, so I'm gonna have activity A, and the duration of the activity is 2. Okay, and next we have what activity? So next we have the activity B, and remember it depends on the A, so it's gonna come after A. So once then activity A is completed, so activity B is gonna come, and the duration of the activity B is 1, as we can see from the table over here. Okay, next we have activity C, which again depends on A, so this one also depends on the activity A, on the completion of the activity A. Okay, so here we have our activity C, and what's the duration of the activity C? So we have the duration as 2. Next, activity D also depends on the A, and the duration with 1. Okay, so activity D is also dependent on the activity D, activity A, and it has a duration of 1. Okay, next we have activity E, which depends on B. Okay, so next we have activity E. E with a duration of 2. Okay, and then we have F, which is gonna come after C. You see here, F is coming after C. Okay, and with a duration of 10. And then what about the activity G? It's coming after D. And what is the duration of it? The duration is 2. What do we have next? H, which is dependent on E. With a duration of 1. Next we have I, which is dependent on F, with a duration of 1. Next we have J, which is dependent on G, and what about the duration of it? That is also 1. Okay, and the K, so here you guys see, this is important, that activity K is dependent on H, I, G. So here H, I, and J, they all, so this activity, which is activity K, it is dependent on the completion of all these 3 activities. With a duration of 2. And lastly we have activity L, which is the last activity. Okay, L with a duration of 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and find the earliest start. So the earliest start, because it is the first activity in here, so the earliest start of this one is going to be 0 always, because it's the first activity that we're starting. Okay, so make it a little, okay, And next, so you're just going to find the earliest finished, you're just going to add the earliest start. So to find the earliest finish, you're just going to add the earliest start plus duration. Okay, so you're just going to do 0 plus 2 equals to 2. Okay, and then whatever you have to find the earliest start of this one, it's gonna be the earliest finish of this one, the previous activity, the one that it depends on. Okay, so here to find the earliest start of this one, this is gonna be equal to the earliest finish of the last activity. Okay, so that's how it works for the activity network diagram. So you just need to remember this and you should be good. Okay, so let's go ahead and put 2 over here, and here what are we going to put over here for the earliest start? Again, it depends on the earliest finish of the last activity. So 2 again here, and here 2 again. Okay, next 2 plus 1 3, 2 plus 2 4. What are we doing? We are finding the earliest finish, and how? By adding the earliest start plus the duration. Okay, so 2 plus 1 3. Let's move on. So again, how do we find the earliest start of this one? That is going to be earliest finish of the previous activity, which is 3 4 and 3 here. And again, what do we do to find the earliest finish? We're simply going to add into the duration. Okay, so then here we have 14. 3 plus 2, that is 5. Again, earliest start is the earliest finish of the last one, so 14 and 5. Okay, and then we're going to add it. So again, 6, 15, and then 6. Next, okay, here you guys see I told you to find the earliest start of this one, you're going to look at the earliest finish of the previous one. But here we have 3 previous ones, so which one do we look at? You guys might be wondering, right? So in this case, every time you have like two or more, so what you're going to do, you're going to take the maximum of those. Okay, so because here you're going in this direction, so this is known as the forward pass. So every time you're going in the forward pass, you're going to take the maximum values. Okay, but when we are finding like the latest finish and the latest start, so in that case we would go in this direction, right? That would be a backward pass, and in that case we will look at the minimum. Okay, I will show you later that we will choose the minimum, but here for the forward pass you need to make sure that you're taking the maximum. Okay, so here we have 6, 15 and 6. So what is the maximum in this case? So the maximum of EF is 15, so you're going to put 15 over here. Okay, so 15 plus 2, that's 17, and here 17 is gonna come here, so 18. So now your forward pass is complete. Now we are going to find the latest finish. Okay, and now we are going to go in this direction, this direction, which is a backward pass. Okay, so for this one, whatever you have for the last activity, this is the last activity, right? So whatever you have as the earliest finish, it's gonna be your latest finish. Okay, so it's always the same. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy paste it over here. So we have, let's use a different color. Okay, so here 18. So we have the latest finish of this one. Okay, so how do we find the earliest finish then? So to find the that's the latest finish, so that is going to be latest start. So how do we find the latest start then? So to find this, we're simply going to subtract from the duration. Here, to find, if we had earliest start and we wanted to find the earliest finish, what we were doing, we would add into the duration, right? But here we're going to subtract. Okay, so when we're doing the backward pass, we're going to subtract, and when we are doing the forward pass, we're going to add into the duration. Okay, so just remember this. So then 18 minus 1, that's 17. Okay, now so the latest finish of this activity, it's going to be the latest start of the previous activity. Like in this case, the earliest start was the okay, let's take this one. Okay, so the earliest start of this activity was the earliest finish of the previous one, right? So just like that, the latest finish is going to be the latest start of the previous activity. Okay, so that is 17, and then again we're going to subtract from the duration because we're doing the backward pass. So 17 minus 2, that's 15. Okay, so for this one we're going to look at the latest start of this one. So it's gonna be the latest finish of this one. So 15, 15, 15. Okay, because it is dependent on only one of the activities. If we had like two activities over here, for example, this one was dependent on this one, and we had like another one over here with, for example, an activity of 17, in that case you would choose 15 and not 17 because it is the minimum value. Okay, this is not the case over here, so you're just writing 15, and again you're going to subtract the values. So that's gonna be 14, 14, 14, because 15 minus 1, right? And again you're going to choose the latest finish of this one, the latest start of this one to find the latest finish. So 14, 14, 14, and then 14 minus 10, 4, 14 minus 2, 12, 14 minus 2, 12, and again 12, 4, 12, and then 11, 2, 11, and then okay. So here, this is the case that I was talking about. So here you see this activity, if you're going in the backward direction, so so we want to find the latest finish of this one, right? But if you look at the latest start, so we have three latest start over here. So which one do we choose? So we're going to choose the minimum of those. So we have 11, 11, and 2. So we're going to choose the 2 over here. Okay, so we're going to choose 2, and then 2 minus 2, that's 0. So that completes your diagram. We just need to find the slack over here. So slack is simply nothing but simply you're going to subtract this and this. Okay, so you're going to subtract the earliest start with the latest start, or you can do earliest finish minus latest finish. This should give you the same thing. Okay, so this minus this, or either this minus this, should give you the same thing. Okay, so the slack in this case then becomes 0. Okay, 0 minus 0, that's 0. And what's the slack in this case? So you're going to do 2 minus 11. You're just going to ignore the negative. Okay, you're just going to report it positive. Okay, so here we have 0, here we have 9. So what I'm doing again, so I'm just simply doing this minus this. Okay, then we have 9, 0, 4 minus 4, 3 minus 12, and we're ignoring the negative sign. If you want, you can simply do the other way to ignore the negative sign, like 14 minus 5. Okay, so where are we? So here we have 9, 8. Oh, I did I write 8? It has to be 0 because 14 minus 14. 0, 9, 0, and 0. Okay, so this completes our diagram. So here, if you are asked to find the critical path, okay, so the critical path, how do we find the critical path? So for that you need to list all the possible paths over here, and then the one with the shortest path, shortest slack is going to be your critical path. Okay, or you can find the duration of the activities, and the one with the longest duration is going to be your critical path. So either of those you can find, and that is going to be your critical path. Okay, so let's go ahead and list the possible paths that we have over here. So here you guys can see, so there are 3 possible paths that you can follow. So if you're starting from A, you can go here, 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 like this. Okay, and another path that you can take is this, 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 this. Second path. And what about third path? So this, 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 this. Okay, so we have 3 paths possible over here. So let me go ahead and write these over here. So A, B, E, H, K, L, A C F I K L A D G J K L. Okay, and let's go ahead and write the slack of each of them. Okay, so if you're going to find the slack of them, so that's going to be 0 9 9 9 0 0. Okay, and then so that's going to be 0 0 0 0 0 0. Okay, and then we have 0 9 9 9 0 0. So I'm just looking at the slacks of each activity. Okay, and now what you wrote at the top is the slack. You're just going to add these up. So the slack that you get from the total slack that you get from the activity from the first path is 27. This is of course 0, and this is 27 as well. So what is your critical path then in this case? Of course the one with the least slack. So here we have 0 slack, so that is my critical path. And if you want to find the duration of this activity, so yeah, if you're asked a problem where they ask you what is the duration of this activity, so if you just go ahead and add all these up and say this is the duration of the activity, no, that's gonna be wrong. So what you need to do is you're going to find the duration of this critical path, and that is going to be your answer because it is the longest duration. Okay, and I think you're able to solve for it. So in this case what you're going to do is you're just going to add the duration of this. So the A C F I K L, so here we have 2, the duration of this 10, and then we have 1, and then we have 2, and then 1. So let's go ahead and all these up. Okay, so then it should give you 18. So the 18 is the longest duration, and this is the slack, and that's it. If you want to solve another problem, so let me show you. So here, this is like a little bit of harder problem if you want to solve for practice. Okay, so we have these activities listed over here. Okay, and we have the duration of all these activities. Okay, and the dependencies of these activities. Okay, so you have like activity A, it depends on it doesn't depend on something, and B doesn't depend on something, but C depends on A, C depends on A, and just like that you're going to create the whole activity network diagram. You're going to perform the forward pass, the backward pass, and the slack, and there are like 9 possible paths. So the critical path here is the one with the least slack. So in this case we have 3 critical path. Okay, and here I found the duration of this path. Okay, so the one with the longest duration, you see 21 21 21 is the critical path. Okay, so this activity has 21 duration and a slack of 0. So yeah, you can solve this if you guys want for practice, and that's basically it. Thanks for watching. Bye.